I'm going to talk about one of the key aspects into dairy farming. That is growing feeds and processing it into what we call silage so that you can use it for a reasonable period of time. Incidentally, I'm one of those who had the conviction that if you want to do dairy farming, you should start, before you buy the livestock, you should first stockpile, grow the feed, stockpile it, prepare it, and that is what I did. And I concentrated on getting the principal feeds. That was the Napier pork chung, which I grew extensively, and also some maize. And when it was ready, I processed it into silage, and that is the point when I started now to bring in the heifers, and it hasn't disappointed me because the Napier pork chung has grown on well, and we've gone on to process. You know, when Napier is in a well moisturized area, you can cut literally every month. Minimum you can cut 4 times in a year, but in some cases we have even cut up to 6 times in a year if you are to get it. It is only recently with the heavy rains that cut off some of the ways that we had to abandon some of our Napier into some places. So what is the procedure if you are going to make a silage, good silage? Especially I'll talk about the Napier silage. You need it, it would have been better to cut it when it is still young, about 2 months, but we had an overgrown Napier because we could not access the points because of the excessive rain, but still we managed to get it. We had about 50 acres of mature Napier, which we have been feeding at about 25 trucks every day, and I had to improvise with 2 tractors, choppers, to do the chopping and then the preparation. So one thing that you need to do, what I do for me, is that I first dig a pit. It's about 3 feet. And unfortunately, it was started when I was not around. It is almost like half a football pitch. It is very large. I came here and I was also astonished. So you dig about 3 feet deep, just to give it the leverage where to start. And then we arrange it. It must be sloping up a little bit. And then I realized that what if it is so wide? What if rain or water came in? And also Napier has a lot of water, especially when you put in the microbes and the rest. So I dug another pit, onto the side. There are actually 2 on opposite sides to absorb or to take in all the excess water that we might be having. So then we start chopping and putting in. It is where, after chopping up to a certain level, because this was overgrown, is where we have been adding in the maize silage. And after adding in the maize silage, then we put in the microbes and then the molasses. Then we compress, the first level. Then we add on more chopping. Then we compress, and then it keeps on top piling up until when it becomes a mountain. To continue supporting it in the side, I get some would-be sandbanks, but this is the soil. So I get the sacks, put them onto the sides to give it support. As you can see, those, they are to give it support. Thereafter, we put the topsoil on above, to reduce the heat, but also to continue compressing so that there is no air that goes through. What is the main essence of trying to grow a lot of Napier? I happen to be onto some of the farmers' forums or the dairy farmers' forums. And not to downplay the concern, at times I get concerned with people concentrating more onto the periphery. Everybody is advising you to get supplements, that you need a high milking cow, you need this supplement, you need that supplement. There are 1,001 supplements onto the market, but not many people are talking about the principal food. I don't know if people do not really understand the word supplement. I think supplement, it is to supplement onto something. So you first prepare the feed, have it in plenty. I'm glad I moved to one part of Uganda and I was able to see a substantial Napier, plantation that challenges mine. At least over the weekend I was in Mbarara. As we were entering Mbarara town, I saw a very large Napier farm. I think it is a government run farm. It is the one that comes next to mine, When you have 77 acres of Napier, you can make more than 1,500 tons of Napier. Incidentally, how did I develop this concept? I feel that it will be the greatest embarrassment of all times that Kakiika had so many cows, and at one point during a time frame X, when there was a serious dry spell, his cows ran out of feed. So I had enough feeds to feed about 200 cows, even when I had 100. I went on to add on more and more acreage of Napier. I have Napier that can comfortably feed on full zero grazing more than 400 cows. But what was the intention? Please be mindful of those seasons which will be extreme. And it has not been raining for the past 3 months. This Napier that you see here that is onto the upper areas, it's going to dry. So what will you do? How come I have Napier that is there, that is in excess of a year, and we are still using it? And I'm adding, this time I'm actually adding 4, I think it should be for 2 years. Well, I'm going to sell some to other farmers because I noticed last time when there was a serious dry spell, I made more money from Napier selling of silage than from milk. They could bring in their fuso truck and then we pump with the chopper into it and you make more money. So I do wish to urge especially Ugandan young dairy industry, people not to concentrate more onto the periphery and concentrate onto the core areas. Grow enough feed, grow enough principal feed. The supplements are there to supplement, and these you can commercially get. You saw my maize. I have a lot of maize. I can harvest it. But right now the prices of maize bran is at its lowest. I started by buying maize bran at 850 shillings a kilogram. Now I'm buying it at 420. It's a supplement. But you cannot buy, nobody will ever grow enough feed for your 200 cows. What will you do that time when there is a serious dry spell and you have 200 cows? Would you export them? Will you import the feeds? But you can buy the mixture concentrates from Holland or from any other country and you boost the milk production. The supplements are always readily available. And those can be airlifted. Are you going to airlift hay? Why don't we grow a lot of feed? The principal component. Are the cows meant to be eating supplements or they're supposed to be eating feeds? And then later on you can supplement them. But I wonder how people put the bulk of their time and concentrate onto supplements. It's the thing that is onto everyone's lips. You supplement with this, you supplement with that. But very few people. I should salute some few farmers. I wish I could mention them by name. I could salute some few. I've seen onto a farmers forum that I'm there, where there is another one with a tractor who was harvesting. He happens to be my good friend, K. And then another one. And those people have my respect because you must grow a lot of feed. In fact, I must say, I'm always disappointed by a person who shows to me a cow with a very big udder telling me it is getting 35 liters of milk per day, but does not show me the garden where he grows the feed for that animal. But he only shows me tins and tins of supplements that he uses. So that's my message. Please let us grow a lot of feed. I gave you last time, I got more money from the selling of feeds. 2 people who are purportedly telling me they are taking it to Nakasongola, but I later learned that they are taking it to a neighboring country. Because those people are in the same arid area. In this country, in an area like here in the central region, I'm in Mukono, 40 kilometers away from Kampala, and this area has rainfall literally throughout the year, and we cannot feed. Let's actually grow a lot of fodder, those who are in 2 good areas, so that we can help our friends who are in the semi-arid areas. So that's my message to Ugandans. Thank you.